Hi friends, we'll learn how to insert data in a MySQL table by using a tick-enter window where the user will input their data and will collect this data and push it to a MySQL table. In the part 1 we'll display the tick-enter window. This is what we are doing now, this window, and in the part 2 we'll add functionality to all these components. You can see a text box, one option menu and one radio button, and there is a button also. And in the third part we validate the user inputs and store the data in MySQL. If the data insertion to the table is successful, then we will display a success message, otherwise we will display the error message. We'll start now by adding functionality to our components. We'll declare our string variables and use it for our components. You will just scroll down here, you can see the option. Here we are in the option elements are 3, 4, 5. These are the class numbers we are giving the choice for the users. Here we will declare the string variable as options. This is our string variable, string var, and in our parent window myw. Fine. Now for this we'll set, you can set one value also, but we'll set it to blank now. Set, let's say blank. Fine. This is our string variable connected to our option menu. Now there is a radio button where we are selecting our what is male or female. So for that we'll declare one. So radio underscore v. This is already we have shown here. Now this is where what you are declaring. Radio underscore v is also a string variable. String var in our main window. Fine. So we can even set the value also. So what we'll do is we'll say radio underscore v dot set. Now we are setting it to, let's say we'll set it to female. Female is another option. Two radio buttons are there. R2, you can see here the female value is set. So this we are setting it to radio v. We have declared this variable also radio v here. Okay, now let's go declare another. You must remember we told that the result of our MySQL database input or the success or error message will be displaying. So for that we have to declare one string variable which will be using in our label 5. So before that L5 will say already we have declared it, used it here rather. So we'll declare this string variable now. So we'll say mystr equal to tk dot string var in our parent window, that is myw. Fine. Now after this, let's say we'll set to some value, because when you let us identify, it should open up with some value always. So let's say that mystr dot set some output. We'll say output now. Subsequently we'll replace this with our messages, whatever we want to give it to our users. Let's just check one. Before that, let me just see here. Here one function is there. In the command we have written one add function. This, whenever the button is clicked, add record, this function will be executed, inside which we will be storing our code. So let's code that function now. We'll define that function, define add data. Now inside that, let's not write immediately anything, we'll pass it. Subsequently we'll add the code. Before that, let's check our window. Yeah, window has opened. Fine, options are there. Now here is that output string variable we have just declared. This output will be replaced with the once the record is added, a success message, and once the if any error comes, we will display it here, and the output of our validation also. So you can see the radio button is also working. Now let us click the add record. You can see nothing will happen because we have not coded our add data function here. Right here you can see we are not written anything here. So we'll going to write that next. Inside our function, we'll start with our first setting one flag. This is a variable, we are giving it as name as flag validation. This will set it to true, means we are keeping that validation is clear. Then we'll make it false when any validation fails. So for that purpose, we'll read now all the input values from our widget. So let's say first one is, you can see that name, so let give it a my name T1. This is a text where user are entering. T1 get, starting from right from 1.0 or first character till end, whatever the user has used. So this is how we'll get our input from name component. Now let's go to pick up our class. My class is, this is equal to our options. If you know that class is a drop down option menu we have used, and in that the variable is options, so we'll say get. This will collect the whatever the user selection from my class. Now then my mark. My mark is the another text box we have kept it to enter read the mark of that, and we have used T3 for that. T3 get. Now same thing, will you start from 1.0 till end. Now we got the mark. Now let's say gender. My gender, this is, we are collecting radio, one per male and female, two radio buttons are there, one user has to select radio V. Now we'll say dot get, so the value will get it in the variable. Now all the, because we need name, class, mark and gender, these are the 4 variables we are asking the users to give us. So that's we got it now. Now we'll do one little validation. This validation part you can extend it beyond also. We are just saying that the length should be more than 2 at least. Name, if you are entering, you should enter more than 2 characters. Similarly, we'll check whether other selections or marks are entered. If you want, you can add it, whether the character or alphanumeric, all those stuff you can add to this. We'll understand that in another tutorial. Let's say if len I am giving my name is less than 2, or because anything is invalid we will be using, so or len my class is less than 2, or len my gender. You can, if you want, you can remove this, because always there will be one selection there. Let's keep it. My selection is less than 2. That means nothing is selected. See, the male or female, there are anything you select, minimum character is 4. So if we are telling that if it is less than 2, then it is, that flag will set it to false. So in this case, now let's set our flag validation sun is equal to false. Sorry, you can see here we have set it to true here. Now all these condition we are making it to false. One more thing also we missed. What is that? We expect the user to enter a integer in our mark field. You cannot, ABCD should not be allowed. So in that case, what we will do, we'll use a try and catch block. Try. Now we'll say the val now, or the value is equal to integer my mark. Fine. So we are converting it to integer, because by default whenever we read the mark, we are reading the mark here. By default is just string only. So we are converting it into integer. Imagine the user has entered as 55, then it will be converted to that. Say the user has not entered, instead of 55 it has entered ABCD. In that case, our except block will be executed, and this block will set the flag validation to false, because proper input is not given on that ground. So now flag is validation is, now our validation part is over. We'll go to now setting what we are going to do with the validation. First we'll say that if we'll check whether what is the status of our validation. So we'll say it here, we'll come out here. Yeah, if now we are checking the flag validation, say we are telling it that if flag validation means we have, because it's a boolean, so it's a true. If it is true, then right now we'll say pass. Why you are telling here our input commands to MySQL will go. Now if it is not, means the validation is not allowed or validation has failed, then we'll say else. What we'll say? We'll say L5. L5 is the label at the right of it. We are given the output, we are written, we are set the value. Now that will config a bit. We'll say config, we'll say that background will red, because now we are giving error message, so background will set it to red. And one more thing also, L5 again config. Now we'll say bg is equal to yellow. Sorry, this is the background and foreground is the font color. We are giving it a red font color because it's a error. Then we'll say that mystr is a string variable we have declared along with the, we connected it to the L5 label. So set it that, we'll say check input. Something is wrong in your input. We are exactly what's the mistake we are right now not giving. That will be a little lengthy program. So this much we can show that to the user. And what we have not done is, we have not done this part when the flag validation is true. Let's run and check our code once. Yeah, it has come. Now let me just click the add record. You can see it's saying check input because I have not entered the lot of things I have not done. So let me say I am entering one text here. It is minimum is, I know it has to be, and 4 is that one. Then I am already one selected. I am selecting. Now still I missed the mark, but still it will tell me check input. Fine. Now I will enter 45. I have fulfilled all the requirements. So now what it should do? It will not do anything because, but it has actually, my validation is cleared. I can write it here. Let's close this. Instead of if validation, let us write, for our understanding, this is what we will do. We will copy this code, paste it here. L5, let's say green. This will make it blue, some contrasting color you can add. We'll say OK. Now let us see what if validation works or not. Now let's first check it. Something is, inputs are not okay. Now I am giving all the inputs requirement I am fulfilling. Now I am giving here 34. This mail I am selecting. Let's click this. You can see that it is giving me okay. Means this part of the second that flag is true. So I am coding. Now this part I will replace with a code to insert into the database. Before we start adding the data to our MySQL database, one more thing we will add, because whatever the message we are giving, we don't want the message to be there around for all the time. After 3 seconds the message should go, otherwise that will create a confusion. Let's see for what we want to do it. We'll say that label 5, whatever the validation output or the data output, whatever we are getting, that after method we will use for that label. 3000 means after 3 seconds. You can change the timing. This is the time for which you want the message to be appear. So we'll say lambda. Now L5 again config. So config we have used to change any option values we are seeing. Now let's say foreground is equal to white. Now let's say bg. You can change these values to anything you want. I'm just giving a white only. And what we will do, we'll say text is blank. So that is how the text will vanish. Now this particular line, we'll copy it and use it here also in our if condition. If the whatever, because this is what it will remove. Let's see that now. Okay, fine. Let me just first without validation. Okay, check input. It should vanish now. It vanished. Now I'll give all the conditions, satisfy all conditions. So I should get that OK message, whatever we have programmed. So let's add the record. Yeah, okay. And this should go after 3 seconds also. Fine. This is how you can vanish the message, and even when you are connected to the database also, when the record is added, you will display the record ID of showing that successfully record added, and then we'll again vanish it. Now we'll go for our record adding. Now we'll add data to our MySQL database. This is the area where we will be adding our code, because the flag validation is true. So this is the point. So here we'll remove this part now, because that will come, and let's first tell the window that what we are doing. MyStr, that is the string variable, whatever gives us the error message and all the output. We'll set it to, it will be telling adding data. So the message is gone now. Now we have just copied a template whatever we have used earlier in our previous videos, how to connect to MySQL database and how to add the data. All this stuff we have already discussed. That template we kept it in a try except block. So the error message from the MySQL database we can capture and display it. That part I am just pasting it here. You can see it's not a very big line of code. Here it is. From here it starts. I will just delete this part to bring it up there, and it comes here, ends here. I have to match the indenting with this here. So this is this part. You can see here we are just importing the engine and the error message we want to display, and here is my connection string. This is the important part. In this here you have to change your own user ID and password to your MySQL database. This is my user ID, password. You can go for a complex password. This is in my local machine only. This is my DB name. You can see our previous videos on this, how to connect and how to use the MySQL database. Now from here we'll try to add our code to insert the data. I can do one more thing. I can check it if any error is there. I will just run it once. Fine. So there is, so far there is no issue. Let me win add record also check input. It is telling fine, because validation is failing because I have not given any input to this. Now let me just go to the portion where I will be writing my code. Yeah, this is the part I will be writing the code for inputting. If there is any error in my input or any MySQL returns me error, that will be captured in the except part. So let me write first the query. Query is a variable here. I am just writing that one. I'll write that insert into, let me make it uppercase. So insert into student. Student is my table name. Now what I am inserting? Now first name, then class, then mark, then gender. So these are all the data I want to insert it. Now after this, let me say values. Values is equal to, now what I am inserting now is I will use parameterized query. You can see our video also what is a parameterized query. All are string I am entering. So using a, sorry, it should be percentages, again percentages, 4 data is there, so 4 percentages. Now this is the parameterized query. The better means the reason for it is that there should not be any injection attack. This parameter goes separately than the query. So now let me declare the tuple with my data. So my data is equal to, now let's, whatever this data we have collected already from the user, my name, sequence I have to maintain, my class. So this is name, class, mark and gender. This sequence I must maintain. So my mark, now my gender. So this same sequence, these values will be replaced. So this is what I have given. Now let me say ID. This is the ID I will be collecting after inserting. So if there is a auto increment field in my student table. So moment I give this data, one more column at the beginning is there. That is auto incrementally it will give assigned a unique ID to the record. That ID I will be capturing here. So I will say engine. Just I have declared at the top the connection engine, execute my name. Sorry, this will not be, I will be declaring it as query. Query is above line only. Then I am passing the data, that tuple I am passing. So my data. So this is fine. This is what I will, this query, this line will give us the data. Now what I will do, one more step is, once this data insert is correct over, I will display this ID to the user. That I will know. But before that, one more step is there. We'll do it later. Let's first see whether our data is storing in the MySQL database or not. What we will say is mystr. This is the string where we are declaring the output. Mystr.set will say that ID. This is the text part. Now I will say plus, this is whatever ID we get, this is an integer, so we are adding it to as a string. So I will say it first, I will convert it to a string by using str function, then I will say ID, and I will say last row ID. This will be giving this variable, whatever after executing this record set, this I will get it here. Last row ID will give me the row ID of it. So this I am using, last row ID is the instant variable there, so I am collecting that. Now with this my data insertion should work. Let's just try once. If it is okay, then we'll move. One more step is there. Fine. Now let me add something here, then select one class here, then mark I am giving 45, just changing it, add a record. There is some error has come. Let me just see the error here. My data is not defined. My data data fine, what a minute. Sorry, here I have to declare a tuple here. My data is here. Let me try once more. So I am telling fine now for 45 mail add record. You can see ID is 38. So this record has been inserted. That confirmation, because I got back the from MySQL, is 38. To confirm that, if I'll add one more record, let me say 30 something, I'm just changed it, mark also changed. Now the next ID will be 39. So let me add that. You can see the 39 record has come. One step we missed here. This, after adding, successfully adding, we don't want to show the message again. So all this should vanish. That part we will add next. After displaying the data or the row ID, let's remove the text 1. T1 delete starting from 1.0 till end. Now same thing for T2. We will delete this. We are doing once we have successfully inserted the data into the MySQL table. Now what will happen to drop down box? There are options, set blank. Now the ID also is displayed there. So once the ID is displayed, that also we can remove it after some time if you wish that way. So let's copy this code and paste it here. So this will, after 3 seconds, this will remove the message also. Let's run this and see. I am adding one more record. Now I have selected 4, mark say 67, this mail, add record 42. There is some error in here. T2, sorry, this is not T2, this is T3. Once more we'll check it. So this is the name column, this is say 556. Now add record. Fine. So all this is how we'll add a record and match the output.